Hey guys, Demon here. Today we are doing a review on Star versus the Forces of Evil Season 1, the whole season, all done in one shot. And we're going to do this with Season 2 and Season 3 as well. Hopefully before Season 4 starts, I hope. This is going to take me quite a while because I have to watch episode by episode just to review them. Because, to be honest, I've only watched Season 3 and I've really got into Star versus the Forces of Evil. But I decided not to make a review of it until now. I decided, maybe I will start making reviews of Star versus the Forces of Evil. Because they get clicks, first off. And it's a pretty good show, actually. I really do enjoy Star versus the Forces of Evil. At least I did enjoy Season 3 of it. So I am going to start reviewing this season by season. And hopefully I'll be done before the fourth season comes out. I'm sure this won't take me maybe a couple of days, couple of weeks, who knows. Few days, few weeks, who knows. Because after this, I'm going to go back to Rick and Morty Season 2, then Season 3. I'll do Rick and Morty Season 3, then I'll do Star Wars The Forces of Evil Season 2, and then I'll do Rick and Morty Season 3 the rest of it, because I've already reviewed some of it. And then I'll do Season 3 of Star Wars The Force of Evil. So, those are all a lot of stuff. But, Star Wars The Force of Evil, Season 1. Let's start reviewing it, Episode 1. So, first episode of Star versus the Forces of Evil. Season 1. So, let's go with, there's Star comes to Earth, and then Party with a Pony. Let's go with Star comes to Earth. This episode is the first episode of Star, and it's okay. It's not horrible. It's not really good, though. It's just okay. It's kind of average. It's an episode that you're just like, that was okay, and you might want to watch more, but it's just an okay episode. Star's a little bit annoying in it. Marco, a little bit, he's not really annoying, he's just kind of like himself, but not as fleshed out yet, I guess. But Star's a little bit annoying in this episode. And then we go to the next episode, or I guess the same episode, but just the next title, Party with the Pony. Also pretty okay. We learned about Ponyhead in this episode. Dimensional scissors, even though we saw them previously. They allow you to travel through dimensions. And it was just okay. Ponyhead, a little bit of a bitch. And, but, I guess at the end they kind of make up their differences, but not really, because in later episodes they don't really make up their differences. But it's okay. It's an okay episode. Not the best, but not the worst, I guess. So it's okay, and this is where Star gets her scissors from, so. It's okay. These episodes are okay. Let's go on to number 2. Star Butterfly Season 1, Episode 2. Matchmaker and School Spirit. These episodes, I guess. This episode... Let's go with Matchmaker first. So Matchmaker is the first episode where we're introduced to Jackie, Marco's love interest, and also Tom, which is Star's old love interest, but we're only introduced to him shortly. It's like a little small portion. And Star turns the teacher into a troll this episode. And we also know that Star's a moron. So this episode, it's pretty good. It's okay. It's probably better than the first 2 episodes, to be honest. But it's just good. Now, School Spirit, I think it was better than all the episodes previous to it. It's where Marco basically tells Star about a football game where it's going to be a bloodbath. She takes it literally, and she was babysat by warriors, so, she just wants to, I guess, kill them, which is really messed up. But it's an okay episode, I guess. Yeah, it's an okay episode. It's pretty funny. Marco takes down a giant squirrel and a few cats, a few giant flaming cats. Uh, Pretty impossible for a human to do, but I guess cartoons, so whatever. And Star changes it all back at the end, except for the bird thing. So, yeah, it's a pretty good episode, but pretty average at the same time. Anyways, let's move on to number 3. So, episode 3 of Star vs. the Forces of Evil, season 1. Monster Arm and the other exchange student. Monster Arm first, obviously. This episode is one of the better episodes, I gotta say, of season 1. So far, at least. It's all about a monster arm, and I've heard a lot of speculation about this, like, oh, the monster arm's gonna come back eventually, and Marco's gonna turn completely evil, because there's been a lot of signs that he might become evil eventually, because of Toffee and stuff, like nightmares, I think, was one of them, and other things as well. Like, there's been a lot of signs where, like, Marco might turn evil eventually. That'd be cool to see, especially in, like, season 4, maybe season 5, if there's a season 5. That'd be really cool to see if Marco eventually turns evil. That'd be a really cool plot line to go down, but hasn't happened yet, sadly. But yeah, this episode, pretty good, and maybe in the future it will come back. It has been referenced a few times. Tom referenced it in season 3. There was one time where there was a short little brief glance at it with a sandwich, I think it was. But yeah, it has been referenced. Hopefully, eventually, we'll see an evil Marco. That'd be a really interesting plotline. Okay, so the other exchange student. This episode, it was okay. Pretty funny. Some good lines in there. The guy is a scammer. He's a little bit of a huckster. And he's a little bit weird because we don't know his intentions fully. I'm pretty sure he lied to Star because why did he mention the Diaz's in the first place? And he has different people that he goes to, always with food. So maybe he didn't lie completely because I guess if you want to start a restaurant, you need to cook other food as well. But it seems like he has different intentions. Let's just say that much. So, who knows what his actual intentions are, and I don't think we ever find out, because I don't think he ever comes back. And then we see, like, this wall of exchange students. That's pretty funny. There's a few things on there. There's, like, this girl at the bottom of it. She has pink hair, and she's, like, staring at Marco kind of intently. Maybe evilly, or maybe, like, I don't know what that stare is. Is that evil or lustly? I don't know. There's a girl where she almost kisses Marco. That might be just for the photo, though. There's a robot. There's a few other people, too. So it's pretty funny. Pretty cool. And this whole episode, like, Star gets jealous and she goes crazy. A little bit over jealous. I gotta say, if you get that jealous over one thing, you're a little bit crazy. But yeah, it's an okay episode. Let's move on to episode 4. So, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Season 1, Episode 4. Cheer Up Star and Quest By. This episode, pretty okay. Let's go with Cheer Up Star first. The episode, it was okay. It's the first time we met the punk music guy. I forgot his name, to be honest, but he's just like a minor character, a side character. First time we meet him, and Star is attracted to him, not really loves him, I guess, but is attracted to him. And she gets bummed out, and Marco has a bad day on this one as well. His bad day is probably a lot worse than Star's bad day, because she's bummed out that a boy doesn't call her back, even though she never actually talked to him. All she did was give him her phone number, or Marco's phone number, to be honest. She just gives it to him, and she never even says that she gives it to him or anything. So why would you expect a phone call back in the first place? But I guess he does call her eventually, so that's kind of dumb. If you want someone to call you back, you should probably say, hi to them and actually give them your phone number and not just stick it onto the side of the guitar. That's kind of dumb. But whatever, I guess. So that happens, and she's all upset. But Marco has like a worse day than that, like a 10 times worse day. That's probably the funniest part of this episode. And at the end, the whole monster thing wasn't that dangerous. So yeah, it was an okay episode. Then there was Quest Buy, which is a store in a realm. I don't know if it's immunity or what. It's just a place that you can take magical scissors to, or the dimensional scissors to. So they're there. They're trying to buy a charger because she lost her old charger. And there's a bunch of chargers there that are really cool. And it'd be awesome if they actually explored those chargers. Like that one that creates like a black hole. There's one that like blasted Marco. So like all those chargers could be used for something. That's actually really cool. It'd be awesome if they actually explored that place, because it seems like it might have some powerful objects that Marco could probably use. Could you imagine if Marco put one of those chargers on his sword that he has from Hekapu's dimension? Then his sword would be badass. Even more than it is. Maybe he could put that black hole charger on there and he'd just like slash and a black hole would show up. I don't know. I'm just saying it's cool. But it's an average episode. It's okay. At the end, she gets her charger back, and Marco has a floating vacuum cleaner. So it's okay. Anyways, episode 5. So, episode 5, Star vs. the Force of Evil, episode 5, season 1. Diaz family vacation and Brittany's party. So, Diaz family vacation. This episode, it was okay. It shows off a few things, like how bad Muni's city is. Bunch of peasants just in squalor and stuff, so obviously their kingdom is kind of bad. If you're a good kingdom, those peasants would be living a little bit of a better life, I think, but they're not. So that shows off that Star's mom and her dad are a little bit bad at being king and queen. They need to fix that, but I don't think they ever do in the series. But that's a pretty shitty life they're living in that city. In Muni's city, I guess. And the whole thing with Star coming to Muni and stuff with them, and like she's not supposed to go out of Earth. It's pretty interesting. It's an interesting thing. And we get to see her dad again. We've seen him first, but we get to see him actually hunt monsters and stuff, and that's where Star got her hunting monsters from. So it's pretty interesting, pretty cool, but at the end, it's just average. There's my cat meowing. But yeah, like, that city kind of sucks. Sucky suck city, man. And then we have Brittany's party. Brittany's party. Brittany, complete bitch. And her party sucks. And I kind of feel Marco, man. I don't get motion sickness as much as he does, but I do get motion sickness sometimes. Especially like on buses and long car rides and boats. Like, ooh man, I get motion sickness. And I'm just like, oh my godness. I'm just like, get me out of this thing. Ugh, man, it sucks. Motion sickness is one of the worst feelings that you can get. And yes, it can make you hurl. So I feel him. I feel Marco. Even though he's driven in his car before with his parents, no problem. But whatever, I guess. And he's done way more motion stuff with like magic stuff, but it never comes up. And plus, he's riding on a dragon cycle, but he never got motion sickness. I don't know. I guess it's just a one-time thing. Or maybe it's a multiple-time thing. I don't know. But whatever. But yeah, pretty interesting episode. Pretty funny. And at the end of the day, Star, she's best party planner. As long as it's not on a bus. And Brittany, really bitch. And who'd want to go to her parties in the first place? They don't even get cool gift bags. That's the only reason I go to a rich person's party, is if they give out gift bags full of like laptops or something. I better get a cool gift bag. But yeah, pretty sucky. um, and we got to see the Diaz's naked, not fully naked, obviously, because it's a kid show. But that's pretty gross. And they even offered King Moon, to join them. Ugh, just. Ugh. Ugh, that just reminds me of, like, what if, like, Star's mom was there and they, like, did, like, a wife swap? Never mind, that's just my perverted mind. Okay, whatever. Episode 6. So, Star, I think this is episode 6. Season 1 of Star versus the Forces of Evil. Newberry and Pixtopia, if I'm not mistaken. So, let's go with Newberry first, obviously. Newberry was a pretty good episode. It's all about Star's version of puberty, or the Newberry version of puberty. I kind of wonder, does that mean, like, all Newberry humans do it? Like, does that mean, like, even the peasants do it? That's kind of a question. Because it seems like only ones with magic do it. Do the peasants have slight magic, or what's the deal with that? Or is the royal family only Moomins? Moomins, I think they're called, right? Is the royal family only Moomins, or what's that about? I feel like this could have been avoided. Could you please shush? Shush. I feel like this should have been avoided because her mother and father probably should have thought this would happen because she's that age. But they never did. So they never was like, oh yeah, warning, she might go through puberty to the Diaz's, you know. That should have been said to the Diaz's, but it never was. Like, I don't know, make a room in your basement where you can lock her up for a day. And then it'll be over. Or something like that. Or maybe, like, we'll take her back for one day. I'm just saying, should have been avoided, but it never was. So puberty is a pretty interesting concept. It's kind of like puberty, but a little bit worse because she gets, like, not pimples, but, like, hearts on her face, and then they overflow and she turns into a butterfly thing that goes after boys because she, like, obviously likes boys. I wonder if she was a lesbian. Would she go after guys? Like, would she go after girls or what? I wonder if this happens to boy humans. Do they go through puberty and is like the same thing? And what happens if she doesn't change back to normal? Does she stay a butterfly lady? Does she rape her victims? like a bunch of questions that are probably never going to be answered because I don't know. It could have been avoided, but it never was. But anyways, that's Newberry. It was a pretty good episode, pretty funny. And I don't know, she almost semi-killed Marco. I don't know what she was planning to do with him, but she was pummeling him with all that flowery or leafy heart stuff. I don't know what she was going to do with him. Shh. Sheesh. That cat's loud. Okay, so Pixtopia. Pixtopia was an average episode. Pretty funny. It had Marco's chubby friend almost getting married to a pixie. I guess they're pixies because it's Pixtopia, so they're not fairies, so they're pixies. I guess they're kind of the same, fairies and pixies, but whatever. It's kind of weird because, like, how would that even work? All you could really do is rubber on it, but whatever, I guess. I'm just saying, a human body with something that small, if you tried to stick something in there, I'd probably rip her in half. but whatever. It was pretty funny, and at the end, his other nerdy friend got to marry her, and he's gonna be a tyrannical dictator. I think he comes back, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't remember, to be honest. I don't really know. But it's a pretty funny episode. It's okay. But on to episode 7. Hey guys, just reminding to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff. Watch my other content too. Now back to the show. Star versus the Forces of Evil, Season 1, Episode 7, Lobster Claws, and Sleep Spells. Stay up, stupid thing. So Lobster Claws is an episode where we get to meet a little bit more of the monsters. Particularly one with claws. It's a giant lobster thing-ish. Mutated lobster thing. And we get to learn that monsters aren't necessarily evil, but they're not necessarily good. It's more evil than good. But most things, just like most things in life, there's a good area of gray, not just black and white, you know. And as we get to know more in the story and stuff like that, you're gonna learn that that happens a lot more often than you think. Is that like there's a lot more gray and there's a lot more gray than just black and white sort of thing, which is really interesting. So this is the first episode where we kind of get that, and also this is the first episode where we get to see Star's wand get corrupted. The first one we got to see it changes when she got it from her mother, and then this is the one where we get to see it change again. And we know that who's ever holding it, it changes to their personality. But it seems like it can corrupt them to a certain point. So that's pretty interesting to see. But yeah, it's just interesting, I guess, to see that. It's a pretty good episode. That's about it. And then there's Sleep Spelling, where we get to meet another girl from St. Elga's, trying to steal Star's face because she thinks they look the same, which is ridiculous, but whatever, I guess. But yeah, Marco has this whole tally trying to see who says who bet most, because I guess he wants to gloat about it, maybe. It seems as that's the case. And it turns out that Star saves him a lot more than he saves her. And at the end, he saves her, but he also has a in PhD, I guess. He also has an A in, what you might call it. So he tries to be like a doctor to her. It's pretty funny. And we learn that she has mother issues, although we kind of already could tell that previously. But we learn that she does from a dot. So that's pretty funny. All in all, pretty funny episodes. Let's move on to episode 8. So, Star versus the Forces of Evil, Season 1, Episode 7. Okay, I forgot the episode. But it's Blood Moon Ball and Fortune Cookie. So, Blood Moon Ball. This episode is an episode that a lot of fans like, and that a lot of fans talk about and theorize about, saying like, what does the Blood Moon Ball actually do? Like, it connects their souls, supposedly, I guess. And now Marco and Star's soul is connected forever. And I guess kind of technically, so is Tom's soul connected to Marco, because Tom was underneath the Blood Moon Ball with Marco for a few seconds. So if you were to say, like, technically Tom's soul is also connected to Marco, maybe even Star's for a second, but definitely Marco, because he was connected with Marco for like at least a few seconds. And they even had skin contact, so maybe just a little bit. But so Marco and Star are connected now by the Blood Moon Ball, and this has come up in a few other episodes, like one with Jackie and another one, a few other ones I think. There was one where Star and Marco kissed in Season 3. The Blood Moon Ball showed up, and so did the marks on his cheeks, but we'll get into that when we get to that episode, obviously. But yeah, the Blood Moon Ball seems, or the Blood Moon seems to have a connection with something. Some people, like, I've heard people say, oh, it's a curse or something like that. I've heard other people say, like, it's not, it's like a love thing, you know, it's just, it's a weird thing. What does the Blood Moon Ball actually do? Did it actually connect their souls? And in which way? Is it a curse? Is it something good? Does it mean they're bound to get together at the end? Or what exactly? No one knows as of yet, I don't think. And we haven't had it explained yet, but it has been hinted at. So it's a very interesting thing. And a very good episode. And then there's the Fortune Cookie episode. So Fortune Cookie... this is where we first meet Toffee. Is Toffee coming back eventually? We don't know, but as of right now, he seems like he's dead in the existing show, I guess. But we first meet Toffee in this, and if you watch the show, he's a big bad guy. Eventually, there's like almost like a movie. It's not a movie, but it's like kind of a movie. I'm gonna say it's kind of a movie, but no, it's not a movie. Where he wins and then eventually he gets defeated, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, we meet Toffee, and at the end, it's foreboding, saying a great evil has been released, and then we see Toffee. Other than a reveal of Toffee, this episode is just kind of a mad good episode. I guess it's like kind of mash, but good like, at the same time. It's kind of just like it's pretty good. Star's gullible enough to believe that fortune cookie can tell the future, I guess. So, yeah, that's a thing. So Star's gullible enough to believe that. But yeah, so it's a pretty good episode, and we meet one of the main bad guys. He's not the main bad guy yet, but he will be, and then he won't be. Maybe in the future he will be, because there's some hints that some people say, like, maybe Marco will turn into Toffee eventually, or Marco will turn evil eventually. I don't know. But next episode. Star versus the Forces of Evil, Season 1, Episode 9, Freeze Day and Royal Pain. So first off, Freeze Day. Freeze Day is an okay episode. It's pretty funny. It's got some moments here and there. And it has kind of a message. It's saying, like, don't do the same thing over and over again. Like, if you want to do something, just do it. Don't hold back on it. Like, if you want to talk to a girl you like, you should just do it. In my personal philosophy, if you want to talk to a girl or boy you like, you should just ask them out, you know? The worst that can happen is that they'll reject you, and then you just have to live with that, I guess. The best that can happen is that they'll accept it, and maybe you'll get a date out of it, and a boyfriend or girlfriend, you know? So, it's better just to ask them out instead of just putting it off for a long time. That's the best advice anybody can ever give you. So if you like somebody, ask them out. Because if you don't ask them out, it sucks. And if someone else asks them out before you and they actually go out with them, it sucks even more. I mean, rejection does suck, but not as much as somebody else getting to them before you even got a chance to. Trust me. If someone else gets to them before you do, and they actually accept them, that sucks like 100 times worse than not even getting the chance to asking them in the first place. I guess you could say, like, oh, what if, like, they make fun of me or something like that? That's a possibility. But that won't last for too long, let's be honest. And who cares? If they make fun of you for that, they weren't worth it in the first place. So yeah, if you ever do like somebody, ask them out. I'm surprised that the eyeball thing didn't show him, like, his adventures with Star. That's kind of surprising. But it's an okay episode. It's pretty good. It has a good message at the end. You know, do more in your life, I guess. And if you like somebody, talk to them. My personal opinion, just ask them out. It's fine. Worst that can happen, they reject you. If you don't ask them out, I already explained it previously. And then the second one, Royal Pain, Star's father comes because Moon kicked him. No, wait, is he Moon? Yeah, he's Rain, and her mom's Moon. So Star's father comes. Moon kicked him out because he is inconsiderate and has a lot of clothes everywhere, even though they live in a royal castle that should take care of, like, all their people should take care of that, but whatever, I guess. In the context of the story, that's not what happens, even though in reality, if you're royalty, that's what would happen. But yeah, Moon kicked him out for a bit because he's an inconsiderate asshole and a royal pain in the ass. So it's pretty funny, pretty good. And at the end, they solve their differences after he wrecks Marco's house. And Marco's parents go out for a couple thing. I wonder where they go though, and if they're gonna be back in time before Rain leaves. That's a question. Marco and Star are alone in the house. Some crazy shenanigans. They're not into each other that way, so I don't think that would happen. But some crazy shenanigans could happen. So pretty cool, pretty funny. And wet socks do suck. But it's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, episode 10. So, Star Butterfly, or Star vs. the Force of Evil, Season 1, Episode 10. St. Ogres Reform School for Wedward Princesses. This episode is just a half-hour episode. No 2-episode parts in this. This episode is actually pretty cool, pretty funny. This is where we first see Princess Tertina, Princess Tertina, I think it is. Which is basically Marco, or Marco. I think it's Tertina, right? I don't remember, but I think it's something like that. But basically, it's just Marco as a princess, and he saves everybody. And this is where he gets his money from, because he gets some merchandise from this eventually. It's pretty funny, and this is where the evil headmistress, I forgot her name, whatever her name is, Heinous. This is where she goes after Marco, and eventually in season 3 she goes after Star. I think her plotline with Marco should have been done better in season 3, but we'll get to that when we review that season. But it's a pretty cool episode, it's pretty funny, pretty good, and we see Marco take charge in this episode. It's pretty funny. And he tries to copy movies, and you should never copy movies, because the majority of stuff in movies would not work in real life. So don't copy movies. Maybe some stuff in movies might work, but the majority of stuff in movies does not work in real life. Or cartoons, or anime, or books. Unless it's like a fact-based something. Like, unless it's fact-based, obviously. The majority of that stuff does not work in real life, so do not attempt it in real life. But yeah, he tries that and it doesn't work, obviously. So it's pretty funny, a pretty good episode. And it's the first half-hour episode, I think would call this, half-hour episode or 20-minute episode. The first episode that's a full episode, and not just 2 episodes in one. So that's pretty interesting. And it's pretty cool, and eventually it leads to something pretty cool in season 3. But anyways, let's move on to episode 11. We're almost done season 1. Star versus the Forces of Evil, season 1, episode 11, I think we're at. Moomin Independence Day and the Banagic Incident, or the Banana Incident, or something like that. I think that's the episode. Anyways, let's start with Moomin Independence Day. So this episode of Moomin Independence Day is really interesting. We get some lore on Moomins, and how they took over an island full of monsters, and they really just massacred these monsters. Like, horribly. They just massacred these monsters and took over their land. It kind of reminds me, maybe they're doing somewhat of a, not a parody, like more like a homage or something like that, of how the Europeans came to North America and took it from the Native Americans. Something like that, but from humans taking it from monsters. I guess that's what it reminds me of, mostly. And the monsters were way outmatched, and they were just wiped off the face of the earth. Oh, not wiped off the face of the earth, I guess. They were just wiped out to the point where they couldn't have the hold over the islands anymore. So it's kind of interesting and really effed up at the same time. And it reminds me of Earth history a lot. But yeah, it's a really messed up thing just to do that. And we learned that maybe humans aren't the best people because they did that to the monsters, and it wasn't the monsters' fault. And this is where Buttfrog, I think they call him, yeah, this is where he gets fired. Even though Toffee, wait, no, is it Toffee or I don't know, the little guy, is the little guy Toffee or is the big guy Toffee? No, I think the little guy is something else. But the little bird guy, he kicks Buttfrog out, and he actually feels kind of bad about it, even though he kicked Lobster guy out a while ago, and he didn't feel bad about that at all. I don't really get like his emotions. He felt bad about Buttfrog kind of, but the Lobster guy he felt okay about. But yeah, he's getting manipulated by Toffee. I think Toffee is his name. He's getting manipulated by Toffee. Um, or is it Ludo? Wait, isn't he Ludo? Wait, what? I'm getting their names confused. I think the bird is Ludo, and the lizard is Toffee. I'm getting their names confused. But yes, a very interesting episode with some interesting lore. And then we go to the banana incident, whatever, where we have Marco and Star, or just Star actually. We have like two kind of a subplot and a plot. We have Star trying to get a magic thing that will turn bananas into ice cream. If you freeze a banana, it will just turn to mush and go bad. So this thing doesn't exist in real life, and if it did, it would be a scam because bananas just go bad if you freeze them. They don't turn into ice cream pudding or whatever the hell it was. But yeah, she goes out, she gets this thing, and she actually makes enemies at first, but then when she gets this thing, the power of human friendship magic with it makes them all friends. And Marco does this thing at karate where he tries to walk on coals, burning coals. I don't think they can do that in kids' karate though, so that's against the law, I'm assuming. But he does it eventually by the power of anger. And distraction, obviously, distraction. Humans can do that, some, at least, not all. But yeah, like if you train enough, you could probably do that. But Marco was able to do it, and it was pretty funny. And then at the end, it had like this really funny joke where Marco was just like, I didn't believe in you enough, so Star pushed away his banana ice cream stuff. A little bit of a dick move, but he was being a dick to her as well. So she's like, yeah, there's a bug in that. Like, she was kind of just like upset. Like, you could tell she was upset and mad at the same time. It was just a funny little joke at the end there. Poor Marco. He didn't get any ice cream or banana ice cream. But Star, that was hilarious. Funniest thing I've seen from the show so far, probably. But anyways, let's move on to episode 12. Star versus the Forces of Evil, Season 1, Episode 12, Interdimensional Field Trip, and Marco grows a beard. Let's start off with Interdimensional Field Trip. So, this episode's pretty funny. It starts off with them going on a field trip with a troll, and it turns out trolls live a lot longer than humans, and also are a lot stronger. And the troll teacher is kind of happy about that she's going to live for 400 years. Even though her life's kind of shitty already. So why would you be happy about living another 400 years of shitty life? Looking like a troll. I don't know, but who cares? Star thinks she can run the classroom better, and she can't. It's basically saying, like, you can't do it sort of thing. And a lot of people are doing bad stuff that they shouldn't be. And it's pretty funny, pretty cool. At the end, the teacher ends up saving everybody, and they end up listening to her more after that because they know that she's the teacher and that she's right. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty funny. And she says, like, oh, my life sucks, I'm 50 years old. I kind of agree with that to a certain extent. You can make your life exciting, but your life's always going to have boring moments, and sometimes your life's going to plain suck. It's just a fact of life. You can try to make your life exciting as you can, but your life's going to suck sometimes. So that sucks. But it's a pretty good episode, pretty funny. And then there is Marco grows a beard. And Marco's been trying to grow a beard for a while. Uh, don't be like if you're a guy, you shouldn't be ashamed if you can't grow a beard because some guys are different. Some guys can't grow beards. Some guys can grow beards. It's different all around. Some guys can grow beards but patchy. Some guys can grow full beards. I know me personally, my beard is pretty full in the neck except for maybe one patch. And I can't really grow a mustache that well. It takes quite a long time for it to grow in. My mustache, I mean. I've been like sitting here for almost a year or two now, and my mustache still hasn't fully grown in, so that kind of sucks. And my dad, he can grow a beard in like 5 days. Like, yeah, that kind of sucks. But some guys will have problems growing beards. Some guys will have ease growing beards. It's all up to you on what you think about growing beards and stuff like that. Sometimes it can suck if you want a beard, and sometimes if you don't, you're like, that's fine with me. I don't want a beard. It's up to you. It doesn't make you less of a man. It just makes you a normal human being. Some guys just can't grow beards. Some guys can. But anyways, it's a pretty good episode. Pretty funny. At the end, Star's just like, I'll do this with my normal human razor. It's just like, Jesus Christ. Like, because she does everything with magic, including growing Marco a beard. It's pretty funny. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Pretty good episode. And at the end, Star should have used her magic for that one thing, but she didn't. That's pretty funny. She did not learn her lessons. I guess she sort of did, but not. She didn't learn it well enough. Anyways, episode 13 is the last episode of season 1. Whew, let's move on to it. Star versus the Forces of Evil, season 1, last episode, episode 13, Storm the Castle. This episode is one of the better episodes. This is probably the best episode of season 1, to be honest. Last episode, Ludo lost his castle to Toffee. I forgot to mention that. And in this episode, we see the results. Toffee makes Star destroy her wand because he steals Marco. Although I don't know how he steals Marco. It's never really explained because Marco has taken on multiple monsters before and never had the trouble of being stolen. Maybe Marco was asleep or something like that. It's never really explained. We just have to believe that he stole him somehow. And this episode is also an episode where people say this is why Marco's going to go evil because of two reasons. First off, Toffee says he's a disappointment, which means Toffee thinks that he's going to amount to something. Maybe Toffee thinks he's going to amount to something evil or something like that. Although personally, I think it's more of like, oh, you're a disappointment. Like you're not as good as I thought you were. I thought you were better than this. I thought you could actually fight back, but you're not able to. I thought it was more like that sort of thing. But a lot of people think like maybe that means he's supposed to turn into something. And then there's a part where he goes up to the suit that Toffee was wearing. He wipes away the stuff, and there's a mirror there. And you see his face with Toffee's suit. And a lot of people think that's symbolism that's telling us that Marco's going to go evil. Again, I think that'd be awesome. That'd be an awesome idea for like season 4, season 5. I don't know if there's going to be a season 5, but there's definitely going to be a season 4. I think that'd be an awesome idea for season 4. The first half is probably going to be to find Moon, and then the last half having Marco the evil character or a evil character would be awesome. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But it's definitely maybe foreshadowing. Who knows? It hasn't happened yet, but it may be foreshadowing. But all in all, this episode is really, really cool. We get to see Toffee. We see Star destroy her wand, lose half of it. And Toffee is gone. We all know where he went, though. But we'll get into that in season 2 and 3. we'll get into that in season 3, I think. Not season 2 necessarily, but season 3. um, that's Star Butterfly, Star versus the Forces of Evil, season 1. The whole season. I hope you like this review. I will be doing the rest of the seasons, hopefully before season 4 comes out. I'm going to do Rick and Morty first, though, because their seasons are shorter, and plus I'm almost finished that anyways. I have to do season 2 and like the rest of season 3. So I'll do that really quick. Probably only take me like 4 or 5 days, maybe. I don't know. Depends on my timing, like the schedule I have. But season 2 is probably going to take me quite a while because it's 22 episodes long, and season 3 is 21 episodes long, or 20-ish episodes long. I think it's 21 episodes long. So those things are going to take me quite a while to get through. I'm having flashbacks of Adventure Time, like over 100 episodes. It's crazy. But yeah, this is going to take me quite a while to get through. 22 episodes for season 2. Quite a while to get through all the 22 episodes. But I'm going to do it all in one season thing. It will all be in one video. It might be a really long video. This video is already going to be pretty long. But anyways, that's my review of season 1 of Star vs. the Forces of Evil. I hope you liked it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, my friends, stay sane. Peace.
Hey guys, it's me!